Dude, look, I think I just feel like we've done this 100 times.
He named the entire band after himself, and then they were in Afterlife and the News.
Yeah, but no, that's because that's how strong Huey is. Huey by himself is just like basically Galactus of music. And then, how could this be even better? How could this be more powerful? The News. You add the News. That's how it gets more powerful.
Why do we need to know so much about this front man? Again, so we're talking about a band who created a new persona for themselves. Mr. Bungle. They sound like a broken alarm clock that you tried to smash with a hammer because it was just terrifying you in the middle of the night, but it won't stop. And that's music, man. That's like what gets to the core of people. That's like that driving, completely non sequitur.
Look, I mean, Mr. Bungle's a great band. Okay, I absolutely love Mr. Bungle.
They are just what?
Whoa!
What is this?
What the hell is going on?
What is this? What is this fucking? It's just like parchment. Where do you get parchment?
Oh, that's really old.
It's not as crumbly. It's gonna unfurl. Let me unfurl. Let's see what it says. It's the big ones incensed and drawn to truth, be it vision or a seer's spoof.
What the hell does that
What
mean?
is that? First of all, that can't be anyone that like we actually know because it's just like too strange, right? Like,
and the handwriting's too good. That looks like calligraphy.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
This is like some John Hancock shit. So what? All right. Well, obviously we've come to very mysterious openings of the fort before. Let's keep going in and we'll check it out. There's got to be something.
There's always something wacky at the fort, right? Always something wacky going on.
I don't see Angela or Fritz.
Yeah,
at all.
This is weird because it's oddly quiet.
So I don't see them anywhere, but I do smell that like lovely sort of gardenia kind of. Ooh. It's like but dried out like incense,
like potpourri, like potpourri. What the?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's definitely
that's Fritz. It's totally
Fritz in the throes of something that he's excited about.
Sounds like a Tuesday to me.
Turned into sort of a. Okay, well let's follow the sound of that.
I want to find out what this is. This sounds like a good time. All right, let's go through. Let's open.
Throw it.
He's still. There's something going on.
Let's open this door.
There's something going on behind it. It smells.
It sounds bad.
Smells good. Sounds bad. That's most of my life, actually. I'm throwing this door open. Let's see what the hell is behind it. And it's Fritz. Yeah, it's Fritz going crazy.
What's the next one? Tell me about that thing, that egg sandwich you had. Yeah. Go.
2 artificial suns will collide and leave the Earth in the dark.
Oh, yeah. Throw it.
What the hell is going on?
No,
dude?
3805. The war between humans for resources.
Yeah. What
More than half of people are dying.
Isn't that crazy?
What the?
Throw it.
Are they like doing a table read for a Marvel movie?
3005. A war on Mars will change the trajectory of the planet.
Okay, they're totally doing a table read for a Marvel movie.
Sounds like
that's really cool. Why is he throwing darts at a map?
2076. Communism will return to Europe and the rest of the world.
Oh, that's good. Throw it.
Oh, communism's not that bad. If you manage to figure it out, like how to do it, like so that everyone kind of has access to.
What was the one thing you were saying about the mass?
It's never been worked out.
You said the mass soul brain.
The Massel brain?
Yeah.
You're a asshole.
5076. A boundary universe. With it, no one knows.
No.
Okay, so they've gone insane.
Yeah.
I thought that this was going to happen, but I don't have a contingency plan.
That's great.
Yeah, you thought this was going to happen?
No, I kind of knew.
Like this exact thing?
No, guys, no. You don't even know. You don't even know.
Well, hey,
Angela
Fritz.
has the entire time. Kaz, Mandaddy.
Yes.
How's it going?
The entire
Angela.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Hello.
I'm okay. The entire time, Angela has been telling me what's going on the entire day. She started off, she's like, hey, you will take out the trash today. And I was like, yeah, it was trash day. And then immediately I was like, yeah. Tell me more. And she insisted on the blindfold and she got into her zone and it's incredible. What was the one thing that you said about the spanakopita? About the spanakopita?
Spanakopita?
Yeah.
No,
It was the one-
Spanakopita?
Yeah. You said a spanakopita will be in your future. And I ate a spanakopita.
Spanakopita?
What did I say?
That, I guess, in Trash Day is on a newsletter we get, so I don't really know how that was me telling the future, but okay.
This is so cool. I mean, Kaz, pick up one of the parchments and just read it off to me.
This is, what does this say? This says, okay, so we've got one that looks like a tiny little castle next to a lake, but the lake is kind of wavy. It says, Laura Linney, the boy is burned in the great fowl's fence.
Wait, let me see that. Let me see that.
Don't crumple
Give it to me. Give it to
Your
me.
big
Give it to
fingers
me.
are going to crumple it.
Oh, you're
Easy,
jealous of my
easy.
big fingers, are you?
Yeah,
Give me
a
that.
little
Okay. It says Laura Dern, dude. It's not Laura Linney. It's Laura Dern.
I always get those confused.
Kaz, Lenny doesn't even rhyme. How
did
are you able to read the
confuse
rest?
Dern
I don't
with
even
Lenny?
care.
Laura
Yeah,
Dern, the boy
right,
is
right.
burned
I
in
get
the
him
great vows.
confused.
Oh, God.
All right, well, now, okay, Angela, put your blindfold back on, please.
And what's with the darts? What's with the darts? And the
You don't have to answer that.
Yeah, you do, because you're throwing darts around.
Please explain to us what's going on. We're so confused, and we just want to have the normal podcast night, and this is just very strange to us. Please.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
3874. New prophet receives support from all segments of the population.
Great.
Organized a new church.
That's badass.
New
It's powerful.
churches?
Powerful.
This whole thing is just very strange.
3803. A new planet is populated. Fewer contacts between people.
Is there
Climate
maybe-
new planet affects the organisms of people.
I love
they mutate.
I love it. All right, throw it.
Yeah!
That was great.
That was the
perfect.
best one.
How
That
is
was
that better than
perfect.
the last one?
It's stuck.
It's
a little
stuck
deeper
better?
than-
It's
yeah.
stuck
Well, look,
gooder?
check it out.
Straight in.
Angela correctly predicted this morning. She said I had to take out the trash. And also, Angela was trash collecting. She said she picked up this really cool book. But, you know, I don't know. It's not a coloring book, so I can't read it.
I don't understand. This guy's
Maybe-
going to
does one
lose
of the
his shit when he
parchments
sees
say
a
something?
calendar.
Throw it!
Does one of the parchments say something about how to, like, stop them?
Oh, no,
Yes.
I'm not seeing anything here.
Listen,
I got an idea.
guys. I picked up this super cool book of prophecies. It's amazing.
What's it called?
Have you guys ever heard of Baba Vanga?
No, I
I
haven't.
have not.
What?
Sorry. Baba Vanga was a mystic, a Bulgarian healer, clairvoyant, and herbalist. She is known as the Nostradamus of the Balkans, proved to have a gift of making incredible, accurate predictions of the future. Over 85% of her predictions have allegedly come true.
Wow.
Born January 31st, 1911, as Vangela Pandeva Dimitrova in Strumica, Ottoman Empire, present-day
Bless you.
Republic of Macedonia.
Sounds
Thank
like
you.
it.
Her father was an IMRO activist, which is Internal Macedonian Revolutionary Organization.
Nice.
Conscripted into the Bulgarian army during World War I. Her mother passed during this time, and this left Vanga dependent on the care and charity of neighbors and close family friends for much of her childhood. Her father married again when he returned, and after the war, Strumica emigrated from Bulgaria to Serbia. The Serbian authorities arrested her father because of his pro-Bulgarian activity. They confiscated all of his property, and the family fell into poverty for many years. Even with all this tragedy in her life, people would say Vangelia had a very calming disposition about her. She showed an inclination and curiosity about natural homeopathic ways to heal people at a very young age. Then, when she was 12 years old, she experienced a terrible accident. A tornado lifted her up and slammed her on the ground, injuring her head, with sand and dirt lodged into her eyes.
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit.
She couldn't open her eyes, the pain was so horrible. Unfortunately, her family did not have enough money to have her injuries properly treated and could only afford a partial operation, leaving her sight to diminish.
So she was fucked up forever.
Yes.
Okay.
And what year was that again?
She was born in 1911.
Okay.
And she was 12 when this accident happened.
Okay.
So math it out. This is when Baba Vanga said she had lost her sight, but gained vision into the future. In 1925, Vanga was brought to a school for the blind in the city of Zemun, where she studied for 3 years. She was taught to read Braille, play the piano, knit, cook, and clean.
That's incredible.
Isn't it? Actually?
Yeah, it really is.
So I can't do any of that crap.
She was blind and just like in 3 years, like learned to play piano and knit and,
But Braille.
and read Braille.
Like, that's a
and she
very-
was already like 14 years old by that point, you know? So pretty crazy. Sadly, during this time, her stepmother passed and she had to go back home to take care of her younger siblings. She was about 17 around this time, and word started to get out about her special gifts.
What kind of special gifts? This sounds very spooky. Very spooky.
She was a juggler.
Oh, God.
She could juggle fire,
People,
people,
You name it. No
Ghosts.
question.
souls.
goats, everything. During World War II, Strumica was ceded to Bulgaria. And in this time, Vanga attracted believers in her ability to heal. People visited her, hoping to get a hint about whether their relatives were alive or seeking for the place where they died.
Okay, so this was not just a physical healing. This was a spiritual, mental, metaphysical healing.
Yes. People just liked being around her. She just had this healing aura about her. And then that was already before she was even blind. People felt that way about her as a kid. And then when she became blind and was able to see in the future, just added this whole other element to her. On April 8th, 1942, even the Bulgarian Tsar Boris III had visited her.
Boris the Third.
Boris.
All right.
Boris.
Tsar Boris.
Tsar Boris. That same year, she married Dimitar Guserov, a Bulgarian soldier from the village of Kranjtsilza, near
Dimitri
Petric.
is such a hot name.
Dimitar, not
Yeah.
Dimitri.
Well, what did I say?
Dimitri.
That's a dude, right?
Yes.
No, I stand by it.
And he had actually come to her asking for the killers of his brother. But then he had to promise her not to seek revenge. So she was telling him, but then the promise was to not kill people who killed his brother. So then they got married, and they moved to Petric, where he's from, where she soon became very, very well known for her gifts. Dimitar was then conscripted in the Bulgarian army and had spent some time in northern Greece, which was annexed by Bulgaria at the time. And unfortunately, he fell into alcoholism and eventually died on April 1st, 1962. So they were married for about 20 years.
But Bulgaria had this portion of Greece at that time?
Yes.
That's crazy.
There's a lot going on around this time in that region.
Yeah,
Lots of
obviously.
things are shifting
Yeah,
around.
a lot of borders are changing, and
Yeah.
places are new places.
Well, because her
and-
father was pro-Bulgarian and anti-Serbia, and then he got arrested. There's a whole thing
And
going on.
every country at that time was like, fuck you, Greece.
And not only was Baba Vanga believed to have the gift to look in the future, many believe the prophet from the Balkans had the ability to heal people, becoming the go-to person for the rich and powerful. Among the people who followed her were heads of state, scientists, historians, and actors who would fly to Bulgaria only to enjoy a couple of minutes of her company. Baba Vanga,
That's
right?
ridiculous.
Isn't it?
Gonna be just a meet and greet, and you're out. That's it, basically.
Just some coffee,
Get a
a
selfie.
scone.
Get a quick selfie.
On that guy's paycheck.
She also served as an advisor to the Bulgarian Communist Party leaders. And she continued to be visited by dignitaries and commoners throughout her life. After World War II, Bulgarian politicians and leaders from different Soviet republics came to ask her questions about the future. In early August 1976, Yugoslav actress and singer Silvana Armenulik was on tour in Bulgaria and decided to meet with Baba Vanga. Vanga only sat and stared out a window with her back to Silvana. She
Nice.
did not speak. After a long time, Vanga finally spoke, and this is what she said. "Nothing. You do not have to pay. I do not want to speak with you.
Oh, shit.
Not now. Go and come back in 3 months." And as Silvana turned around and walked towards the door, Vanga said, "Wait. In fact, you will not be able to come. Go, go. If you can come back in 3 months, do so." Silvana took this as she was going to die and left her house in tears. Armenulik, so that's Silvana, died 2 months later
Oh, no.
in a car crash with her sister,
Oh, no.
Mirjana, and they both died.
Oh, my God.
Well, she can't save everybody.
Well, it's a
But she was basically like, I mean,
Can't
free
argue
will
that.
can happen. Mediums can see things. People can see things, but other things can shift. And
Well, there's different theories. Some people
Yeah.
think it's set. Some people think that it's just set. Other people think that every emotion has a decision path.
correct.
Just depends on your theories.
Because she was saying, like, oh, you won't be able to come. Well, you might be able to come. If you can, please do. And she just kind of told her to leave.
I'll leave the door. I'll leave the day open, but you're probably not going to come back.
Can I have any kind of clarity? No.
I don't want to. I don't
Well,
want to.
what if she just knew exactly what was going to happen? How do you even go about that? You can't look this person in the eye and be like,
That's
"Hey."
awesome. Yeah, no, yeah. Could you look someone in the eye and be like,
You and your
I'll
sister
be honest
2
with you,
months.
man. You will not die this week, but you will be happy when you do, and you will go in your sleep. That person just goes, what the fuck, man?
They never sleep again. They just drink like
That's just-
monsters for months.
They died two days later, but super happy. Prophecy's complete.
All she could have said is like, "Hey, from now on, take the bus." Have you heard of Uber? Take Uber.
So Vanga was semi-literate in Bulgarian. She could read some Braille and Serbian, as she learned in Zemun. She did not write any books herself. So what she said, or allegedly said, has been captured by other people. So later, numerous esoteric books on Vanga's life and predictions were written. Baba Vanga predicted the terrorist attack on New York's Twin Towers.
Oh, my God.
And she predicted it in 1989. She said, "Horror, horror, the American brethren," which was believed to be a reference to the two brother towers, will fall after being attacked by the steel birds, the planes. The wolves will be howling in a bush, people think because Bush was president at the time, and innocent blood will gush.
Jesus.
That's the interesting part about all prophecies and all prophets is
The
that
interpretation.
it's always interpretation.
Yeah.
It's never just like, hey, on Thursday, Bob's going to die. It's always some weird, esoteric writing that can be interpreted in so many different ways.
Here's the thing that I love about predictions versus post-dictions, and that's what Mandaddy was alluding to. We go back and we go, my God, that was so accurate. And yet they didn't say 2 airplanes would hit 2 buildings in New York City and cause a catastrophic loss of life. But, however, looking back on it, that is eerily close to what actually happened. So
Sure.
I'm always of that camp going, fuck me in the ass. That's super, super close.
What sort of camp do you go to?
You don't want to know.
The fun one?
No, you don't want to know.
I don't know if any of you guys are clairvoyant or claim to be, but I mean, maybe that's the rule. Like, this woman she knew this person was going to die. Let's say the story is true. She met this person and she just sees it like, oh shit, 3 months, this woman's going to die in a horrible car crash with her sister. And then she feels a weird sort of duty to tell her, but she can't, right? Like, or she doesn't.
I wouldn't tell that
it's a
person.
responsibility.
What is that? What is the thing? Like,
Would you be able to enjoy
something-
your life? Look, there's no way you
I
can
don't
stop
enjoy
it.
my
She
life.
knows there's no way you can stop it. If I tell you you're not going to be able to enjoy the next 3 months or whatever.
Well, yeah,
so
what's the
just
point?
Knock
Maybe.
yourself out. Hey, by the way, stop the diet. All right, have a great week.
Yeah, I would.
Just be very poetic and vague about it.
Thank
and-
you.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
In 1980, she predicted the sinking of Russian nuclear submarine, the Kursk, in 2000.
Oh my God! That was the one that went all the way under, and they could hear their activity in the sub for days afterwards. Right?
Is that what happened?
Yep.
Oh,
Wow.
that's terrible.
The entire crew died.
That's
What she said
being
was,
trapped in a tube of metal at the bottom of the ocean. That's got to be up there when it comes to just like, wow.
that's horrible.
Yep.
What she said about it was, at the turn of the century, in August of 1999 or 2000, Kursk will be covered with water and the whole world will be weeping over it.
Okay, now that's
No.
messed up.
No, you cannot tell me it said Kursk.
That's what this says.
Wow.
It's on the internet.
Now that's not post-diction anymore. That's a prediction.
Yeah, I mean,
So that's pretty tight.
pretty accurate.
That is accurate.
So here's a list of her major prophecies from 2016 onwards.
Do any of them mention me?
No, let's just hear it
Just
out.
don't want to get that out of the
Let's
way.
just hear it out. We will bleep it if it does.
2016, extremist Muslims will invade Europe, which will cease to exist as we know it. The ensuing campaign of destruction will last years, driving out populations and leaving the entire continent almost empty. That's what she said for 2016.
Was she working with Breitbart at this point?
Maybe. Baba Breitbart.
Nice. Well
They just shortened it. They just shortened it.
Baba
We
Breitbart.
figured you out.
Oh my God.
2023. The Earth's orbit will change, which doesn't really seem very likely, but 2025. The population of Europe will reach almost zero.
Whoa.
2028. Mankind will fly to Venus in hopes of finding new sources of energy. 2033. World water levels will rise as the polar ice caps melt, this is already happening.
Yeah, that was an easy one.
2043. Europe's transformation into an Islamic caliphate is complete. Rome is named the capital. The world's economy thrives under Muslim rule. 2066, America will use a new climate change weapon for the first time to retake Rome and bring back Christianity.
Way off the rails.
It's
at
a
this
little
point.
crazy.
Whoa.
2100, man.
The driver's like, the brakes still work, man.
Has our own
Things are
actual
going
history
nuts.
been any more or any less intense?
Oh,
or
no,
strange
no.
than this?
You don't know.
It's
You don't know.
absolutely the
well,
same thing.
she actually did. There is something that I did read that she predicted that Obama would be the last president.
Oh, God.
Son of a bitch.
Don't
And everyone's
say
like-
that.
and everyone's
Use the name
like-
Obama, or was it just like the...
She said there wouldn't be a 45th president.
Oh, fuck. Fuck, man! This is supposed to be a fun little podcast! Now we're all doomed!
Holy shit.
Lock the doors.
2100, man-made sun illuminates the dark side of the planet. This is already in the pipeline. Since 2008, scientists have been working on creating an artificial sun using nuclear fusion technology. 2130, with the help of aliens, civilizations will live underwater.
This is 2030?
This is 2130.
Oh.
130.
We're gonna need aliens to help us
probably
live
not gonna make
underwater. I mean, that's kind of sad that we can't figure that out. We need aliens to help us with that.
Because
Yeah,
we're too
right.
worried about money. Is there money there? No, we don't care. No money.
Actually,
We don't
Elon
care.
Musk will be long dead, so yeah, we'll be lost.
Come on, Elon, put on the
We'll be
suit.
2201, temperatures drop as the sun's thermonuclear processes slow down. In 5070.
No, stop.
Really?
Why
yeah.
does that even fucking matter?
I want to hear what it says.
It's.
Who's going to be able to fact check that
This
one?
is the best one.
I've already been thoroughly freaked out
You don't know,
by
Mandaddy.
the existing ones that we've seen. It's all of this is a lot to process. What? Please just tell me one thing. What is with the fucking darts? Like, this room is so gorgeous. There's maps everywhere, and there are
No!
just seemingly random
Right above his head. Go a little lower
darts
next time.
everywhere.
There we go.
Got it.
Explain the dart.
Yeah, please.
Are these where we're going? Have you been there? What is this? Is this plans?
Kaz. Don't worry about it.
I've been giving
She
her
says it a lot.
longitude, latitude
Right.
all day. She's been nailing it, dude. Pinpoint.
Pretty
No,
good.
but how you know it's pinpoint with just throwing it and it's hitting stuff?
Well, after the first 25 you measure, you just kind of accept
There's
it.
hundreds.
Measured by what metric?
There's
Thank you. We've been
hundreds.
doing this for fucking, what, weeks?
Weeks.
now? Weeks.
I want to know why. And they're
We've
color
seen
coded.
it.
There's black ones and there's white ones. There's only seemingly only black and white
Listen,
ones.
don't worry
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, tell us nerd to shut up.
Please.
Please.
Kaz, shut up.
Thank you.
We're out of gravy water.
Yep.
What?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Just-
Let's take a break.
Now this shit's gotten serious.
We gotta take a break. We gotta get some more gravy water, and these prophecies are getting out of hand here. You're listening to Fort Fritz.
What the fuck?
Okay, hang on. First of all, welcome back to Fort Fritz, everyone. We're in like one of our classic sidebars here. It's me and Mandaddy, and we've got the kind of entranced Fritz and Angela, and they appear to be on some type of prophecy kick today, right? That's what
Yeah.
it looks like.
Sure.
Really quickly between the two of us, try to figure out what the fuck the darts mean.
I have
They
no
were throwing
idea.
the
They're
darts-
just whipping them all over
prophecy.
the place.
I
man.
get, right? You get a little high,
Yeah.
start thinking you connect patterns, and you're smart, and then you figure out the future.
Yeah.
But the
We've all
darts
been
I
there.
don't understand, and they're color coded. There's white, there's black. They're very specifically placed, right? Like very few of them appear to be over water. It's all mostly over.
All right,
land.
why do you guys care so much? Oh, look, there's Fritz climbing on top of the globe with my blindfold on.
Why is he doing that? And why is he wearing those Daisy
This,
Dukes again?
This is not going to end well.
Oh, that is not good to look at. He seems to enjoy it every time, though.
It's got kind of a precarious. Oh shit!
Whoa, careful there. Careful.
Yeah,
That thing
it's-
spins.
it
That thing
spins.
spins, dude. Be
That's-
careful there.
that
Just
is a
like
globe.
It's just so funny they made the Earth
my
round
God.
on that as a joke.
Guys,
Like the
no.
Earth is a sphere. That's
Check
such
it
a
out.
joke.
I get
Oh my
it.
God.
Look, I'm up top.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
doesn't
God.
look. That looks really precarious. You got to be careful, man.
I get it.
You're not good for this.
Mandaddy, please.
You look
No.
like the movie poster for North.
Thank you. I feel like I'm on top of the world. Get it?
Because you are on top of,
Get it?
It's a globe and you're on top
But
of
no,
that.
seriously, shut up, man, Daddy. This globe is like the center of the universe. I fucking have it all figured out now. Are you seeing any crazy visions now, Angela?
No.
Yeah, but guess what?
It's magical.
I just did.
Yeah?
What type of visions are you seeing?
man.
I don't want to know, but I need to know.
Did we give him the chunky half of the gravy water? It seems like he's got.
Yeah.
He's got the thickness.
I just think he's up
Are you
a
down with
couple
the thickness?
feet higher so he's able to see.
No, you guys don't get it. God, you don't get it. I'm so sorry that you're so stupid.
Wow.
All you have to do is get up here and sit down on top of the earth.
I don't think we could all fit up there.
You don't get it, man, Daddy. But yes, it's also accurate. It's very small. Very small. I'm actually very small. Haven't you guys ever heard of the Oracle of Delphi?
No.
Or the Oracle of Delphi.
Well, thank you for saying, because it's also known as Delphi or Delphi.
You say Delphi, and I say Delphi.
The Oracle of Delphi in ancient Greece culture has a very rich and nuanced story. For instance, Zeus, how he became a god, it's been told over the centuries from many different perspectives. But the end-all be-all is that as Zeus was born, his father, Kronos, ate him. As were his brothers and sisters, including Demeter, Hestia, Hera, Hades, Poseidon. They were all eaten.
They get eaten by their daddy.
He got eaten by their daddy.
Kronos was like, he was a gerbil, and he ate all of his kids.
He was, imagine a god gerbil.
God
Thank you.
gerbil.
That's
And
all
imagine,
I do.
I think that's interesting if we like how we talked about the kind of personification of religions and gods. I think that the idea that the time god ate the gods and essentially attempted to make them no more is like a weird parable about how religions are cyclical and like the kind of time will eliminate them essentially.
Yeah, and Greek mythology is a very nuanced culture, in that before Kronos, his father before him, Uranus, Cronus' father, Uranus, hated his children, which were to become the Titans. More on that later. So Rhea, who was Zeus's mother, saw that he was eating all of the children, wrapped up a stone after Zeus was born, hid him in a cave on the island of Crete, gave the stone as a waddling child to Kronos. Kronos ate it. The stone... As he did before, the stone broke open his stomach and all of the gods and goddesses came out.
It's like the first pet rock.
Yeah, exactly. So then...
He ate his pet?
Who doesn't?
That stone fell to earth and they didn't know where. So Zeus, years later, decided to send 2 eagles off from the, opposite parts of the globe, and then wherever they intersected would be our new home. The navel of the universe, as it were. They happen to intersect on a very remote region of land. But it happens to be the most beautiful thing that ever happened to Greek culture.
Did they just kind of gloss over the fact that they get eaten? Like, how do they get eaten? Is it like all one big, like, swallow? Do they take them limb by limb?
Well,
like,
since they burst out later, I'm guessing it's like one just, you know.
And then that's very Greek mythology. Everybody's just like,
it just eats.
Just like you know, in the Jonah and the whale, just you know.
Just throw in like an Advil, just like bloop.
Bloop. Well, you have one writer who is very reverent, like, and then on the 6th day, on the 6th hour of the 6th minute, he looked up to the sky. And then you have another guy who goes,
he ate him.
He ate it.
He ate him. He was eating.
He had a baby child
down,
and he ate him.
Yeah, so you have that, but that's a very great question that factors into any kind of mythos. Everyone has an opinion as to how it happened. So, these eagles decide on a future location.
So it was up to the eagles.
Yep. They flew over the navel of Gaia, which is Mother Earth. Zeus said, I decree this to be the navel of my universe because the Omphalos, which is the stone that she fed to Kronos, fell into Delphi.
Oh.
Apollo, who is the most Grecian of the Greek gods, said, I will make people go there. But he goes, but how the hell am I going to make people leave homesteads and then travel into the mountains? It's gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. It's like Denver, like people in Miami going, wait.
Why would you move there?
I'm going to live a mile in the air? Yeah, exactly. So he decides to change himself into what kind of aquatic animal would you change? An octopus.
Octopus
very
sounds
smart,
right. Maybe
very
like
smart.
a whale.
A whale, like
Or a
narwhal.
serpent.
Narwhal.
I want to say a starfish.
A starfish. All great answers. Apollo the god personified himself as a dolphin.
I was actually going to say dolphin.
That's a good one.
Damn it.
I think Kaz kind of hinted on that as a whale, a cetacean, jumps onto this traveling merchant boat and says, hike your boat, keep going, we're going to go to this one location. They then hiked up a mountain. I'm only imagining the dolphin is dead and decayed.
Yeah, I
at
was
this
about
point.
to say that. They really picked a different creature, maybe like
really
a mountain
irresponsible.
goat or
Thank you.
something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's a god dolphin. It doesn't have the normal properties of a dolphin.
God dolphin.
I'm a big fan of God Dolphin. Their early work, everything later got really kind of messed up.
So good.
A little
right?
too produced. Yeah.
They
you.
get up to Delphi, and he goes, what do you think? And the pilgrims go, not for nothing. We just hiked up 4,000 miles
With a dolphin.
With a dead dolphin. You should be talking at this point. You're dead. And
Stop talking miles ago. I don't know why we still have him.
He hasn't given him any good advice. Like miles.
The worst SeaWorld rescue ever.
But yet, Apollo the dolphin kept talking to him. And he goes, I hear you, traveling merchants who decided to follow a telepathic dolphin up the mountain. That takes courage.
Absolutely.
That's
However,
not the word I was thinking, but sure.
Faith.
If you were to set up shop right now, you've already convinced the god Apollo, and then he transformed himself. You've already convinced the god Apollo that you are willing to listen to your inner heart. So they decided, just this one little band, to set up shop. Delphi became the hub of ancient Greek culture. When you see pictures of sheer mountaintops, and you see that old amphitheater that I'm sure everyone here has seen, that is Delphi. It's high up in the mountains, and for millennia, people have been leaving gifts from all over ancient Greek and even Ethiopian culture.
He showed me a picture of it earlier. It is okay.
It is
close your eyes and think about the next thing I say. Ancient Greece.
Yeah.
That's
it.
Delphi
Yep,
right
there
there.
There it is.
Oh my God, I see
Nailed it.
Yep.
So
Columns, some of them broken.
Boom.
Apollo now had to sell it a little bit more. He said, if you trust in me, this location will be the location. And they go, okay. And then they started this international hub, like literally different multinational currencies and cultures interacted with this hub. That was just beautiful. Think like going to Manhattan for the first time, you see these skyscrapers. Going to San Francisco, the hills, like those steep hills, the trolley cars, they went to Delphi and they got it.
Some guy walks up and it's just like, God damn, this is a beautiful
This
city.
is gorgeous.
Some dude's like, you know what? Dolphin told us about it.
Thank you for bringing that up, because Delphi translates to dolphin in Greek.
There you go. Oh,
The
that's
Oracle of
exactly
Dead
why.
Dolphin.
Yeah. Chicken of the Sea, I think it's called.
Yeah, I think you're right. So Apollo tells all of these people to move to Delphi. However, there happens to be this python surrounding the entire
Always.
city. And you know what? He's a demigod. So Apollo is going to have to go down there and kill this python. So let's name the python Pythia, because that's the Greek word for python.
Kind of on the nose.
He kills it because he's a fucking archer maniac. Kills it,
Bang.
and then it falls into this crevice in the earth. He goes, there you go, fuck that thing. I'm Apollo.
I like Apollo already.
Yeah.
It sounds like my kind of god.
As he's playing this beautiful melody, so beautiful, you're like, I can't even recount it.
He was wailing
It's like
on that
Oasis.
Exactly.
It's like
yeah.
exactly like Oasis.
He kills this python. He goes, anyway, here's Wonderwall. So maybe. And as he's walking away, they go, that guy's cool, man.
Yeah, man. Like, I want to take sophomore, whatever math with him.
So the python falls into the fissure in the center of Delphi. They decide they should probably just go ahead and set up shop, give Apollo his shrine, give Apollo his temple in Delphi. And why not locate it over the fissure? You know, this was the fissure, after all, that Apollo killed Pythia. It fell into this fissure. Now it's emanating this funk. So they decide to go to the local Delphi community at the time, who is very ardent on Apollo, and they go, do me a favor, just sit over this thing, just breathe it in. And,
Breathe the funk.
and the virgin priestess would be like, right? And they would sit on
Picks
this.
up her bass, tunes it a little bit, sits
They
over
would-
the fissure.
They would sit on this tripod seat, and within no time at all, the virgin priestess says, I don't know what you want me to do here, but boo. And they would go into this epileptic seizure, which the Greeks called the blessed illness or the divine dance, meaning they would go into this trance, and then they would speak in hexameter and broken verse and undulating lines and sarcasm and irony. They would then, and this lasted hundreds of years, 900 years probably. Different people over the times would sit over this fissure. All right, I don't know what you want. And they would go into this seizure, and they would accurately foretell future events in that they would say, move out of here. Your crops don't grow. Go to Libya. And then the person would go, what do you mean Libya? Well, I don't know where Libya is, but go to Libya. Turns out Libya was an actual place. Like, that's how
They didn't
accurate.
know yet.
Fake news.
Yeah, that's how accurate they would. And of course, this is
weird.
from writers over the time. But anyway,
Yeah.
they would say, go to Libya. And then they would go to Libya and be like, oh my God, everything's great. However, crops still aren't growing down there. And they go, so again, they had to go back to the Oracle of Delphi and ask why it's not growing. The Oracle, or Pythia, didn't know why they would be asking her. Don't you know Libya? I don't. Why don't you ask Libya? They went back and befriended their locals who said, yeah, go up there. There's sheep. And then, and the actual Oracle line was talking about fleecing.
So what you're saying is basically the oracles were intentionally vague in their prophecies, in that it could be interpreted many different ways, and that the people, they were never really wrong.
No, they were 100% correct, Kaz.
Right.
Always.
Right. No matter what,
No matter what.
The shadow
what
of a doubt.
befell the person, they were still kind of right. You know what I
Because
mean?
of the power of suggestion. So they would just say something that was inaccurate at best, lying at worst, but also so vague. For instance, when Greek King Croesus, who ruled over Lydia, went to the Oracle of Delphi and said, you know what? I'm the last Ionian king, motherfucker. Do you know what that means?
Is that a direct quote?
Yep. That was actually Lockhart, page 354 of Greek Myths and Gods and Goddesses,
One of that
part
footnote.
2.
One of that footnote.
So he goes, I'm the last Ionian city, man. This old fucking empire is going to fall. I got to take over Cyprus because Cyprus is a Persian king and I hate him. Yeah. And the Oracle of Delphi looked at him and said, if you invade Cyprus, a great kingdom will fall. And he goes, yeah. And then as he was walking out, he turned around and he goes, wait, does that mean I'm going to win? And the Oracle said, if you invade Cyprus, a great kingdom will fall. And he goes, yeah. Just walked away. Well, guess what happened?
It was his kingdom?
Yep, Lydia fell.
Got him.
Because, again, he was the last Ionian city. So he had no fucking firepower. He's like, I want to go after him. And Persia goes, you fucking with me? Reputation kind of fell out of favor. And then by AD 390, Theodosius sacked the entire temple, got rid of the oracle. A lot of bad things had happened with the oracle anyway. She was known as the Pythia, or the Oracle of Delphi. One time they would always get virgin priestesses. Well, one time she was kidnapped. And never heard from again because she's at the temple 24 hours. And then there was just like, all right, let's just get middle-aged spinsters. And then they just started getting anybody.
Just whatever.
So that's not
you
not
fit
good.
the suit. Was it like a circular area with like columns like this?
Yep.
I made that as a project.
It was actually Doric.
in middle school.
Doric columns.
Well, no, just the description of an ancient Greek place. Was it like the circular thing?
Well, but no,
that, like, had the
you know what I'm
columns?
saying? It was like circular with the
With columns
around
it's
with the
Greek as
connection.
fuck. That's one of the most Greek things I've ever heard described.
It's exactly as Greek as you think it is.
It was like
There's tzatziki sauce everywhere.
Yeah, it was just like it was this cupola, with like Doric columns. I think Doric is the capital D, but turned on its side. Like I guess what
Doric,
90 degrees?
Ianthian and Corinthian.
Wait, Ionic? Wait,
Ionian. Ionian, I think, looks like a capital I, and then Doric looks like it's like curved, and then Corinthian is
Corinthian.
the.
Why
Is the
do
very
we know
flourish.
that?
And then
Yeah.
rich Corinthian
Like,
leather is
column
inside
types.
of
Why
Lincoln.
Exactly.
is that everyone kind of like knows that like thing? Like
Humanities, dog.
Jesus, strange.
Trivia
strange.
nights, dude.
Yeah, no, there you go. You're a trivia guy.
So anyway, Delphi was sacked in 390 AD. However, as recently as 2016, there have been geologists who are actually looking into the fissures and noticing that a strong mixture of carbon dioxide and methane has been as it rises and corresponds from the under fissures. The mixture of these two chemicals can produce epileptic seizures
Fissure Caesar.
as it
Caesar.
gets
Band
up
name.
to
Like a
that
singer,
level.
just like a singer.
However-
Seizure.
However, over the centuries, and again, this was 890 BC, it's at such a reduced level now that it's completely harmless.
So
which means
Pythia like kind of wore off a little bit.
maybe.
Yeah, the
Just
funk
smoldering.
has died down a little bit, got more mellow.
So it means we need to go breathe in some methane, and we can have our own prophecies going on now.
It's not gonna hurt. Is all I'm saying.
I'm sure there's probably a porta potty somewhere around here you can get enough methane out of.
Wait,
I would love that.
the
you.
scene in 300 makes sense then? That was like the whole thing with the Oracle that was like getting all like hot
Yeah.
and shit, and she was just like,
I think so.
Did she have abs?
was it Circe? Wasn't she in that movie?
Who?
Circe.
From Game of
Lena
Thrones?
Headey.
Now, if you all kindly let me assume.
Oh, what the?
Whoa!
Jesus Christ! Why was that so high up there?
He just became a body.
It's
He just went from
it
person
sounded
to
like
body.
cedar chips or something hitting the ground. It was just like a crinkle.
Oh man, I thought it sounded like someone slapping like a big thing of pork belly against tile.
Pork belly. Raw or?
I hope. Oh, just slap it. Oh God.
Yeah, it's definitely raw. That's a raw pork belly sound for sure.
Yeah, he didn't even bounce.
No.
He just,
Slap.
Just splat.
splat
He's
and
probably
stuck there.
stuck. Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Is he alive?
I don't know, but we
I
need a
don't know.
spatula first.
Check him. Well, before we try to move anything, he might be. Did you ever see In Bruges? Could be like
No.
In Bruges.
Is that good?
You never saw In Bruges?
No. What is that?
Good?
It's not bad. It was that Colin Farrell movie. Anyway, is he alive? Is he
We should
breathing?
probably go check.
Okay.
The Colin Farrell movie, or if he's alive?
Both.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up the movie. You guys go.
Okay,
talk to him.
Fritz, are you? How do you feel? Are you there? You're. Okay, he's So there's bubbles in the blood. That means
did
he's
you
breathing,
get
right?
that movie?
There's
Did anyone get that?
It's
Bruges?
I'm still looking for it. It's not on Netflix.
Because you're
right
on
now.
Netflix. And
No, I
that
know.
doesn't-
I'm going to Netflix. It's not on Netflix. Trust me, it'll be on Netflix.
He got-
Everything's on Netflix.
He smeared like a whole bunch of blood all over the globe. Now this is
Oh.
like what is? There's like
Peroxide.
his blood is kind of
Peroxide,
it
it's fine.
is bubbly. It looks kind of like it's sweet.
What's
It
going
doesn't
on?
have
This is-
diabetes.
it's like taste it.
it's-
Is it like grape?
I'm not tasting that.
I get you to taste things all the time.
Oh,
I know,
oh, he
but-
made noise.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait. Oh, he's out again. Okay. Anyway, so Colin Farrell. I mean, does he always look like that? I mean,
He does,
He's a
he
good
does.
actor and everything, but he always just
He
seems
makes
to
the
look
same
like
face
that. And just
all the time.
It's
Be
a
quiet.
gorgeous
Okay,
face.
Fritz, shut up. He's like gurgling a bunch now. This is just annoying at this point.
Well, I mean,
But
you can't mention
I-
Colin Farrell and not
I
gurgle
like him.
blood.
I like him, but at the same time, it's like, is
Okay.
that a range by being like that?
But
or
what is the last thing he's done?
it's been a
Daredevil?
while.
He was the guy with the
True
weird...
Detective.
Oh, yeah.
See,
yeah.
that's what it is.
Was it the
That's
Yeah.
what it
second
is.
season?
Yeah,
First season?
Yeah.
not
Second
the
season
not great one.
sucked.
Yeah, see, I think that's
Actually, he
what it is.
was good in that though.
He
What's
was
your
good.
opinion on Colin
Season
Farrell?
2, True Detective, did you get into it? You know what I really liked was the fact that they used Vince Vaughn to like a dramatic kind of evil.
That was a good role for him. That was,
he didn't get to
that was
be
the
like
only good thing about the
douchey
season,
Vince
though.
Vaughn.
I actually really liked Vince Vaughn in that.
Yeah, I did too.
I actually liked everyone in that. I just
But it
really
sucked.
hated the plot of the whole.
I feel
the
like
whole
I'm
season.
getting blood on my shoes. This is messed
Oh,
up.
gross.
Okay.
Oh, it's like
okay.
sticking.
Let's just back
Chuckling
up
or
a little bit. Give him some space. That's what they always say. Back up. So let's just
him
back
some
up.
space.
So anyway, I mean, are
don't
they
wanna
going to do a
mix-
season 3?
No,
'Cause
they're
if
not.
They're
They
not going to
ended-
do a
they
season
ended
3.
season
That's a
two.
good thing.
Season
That's a
two
good thing.
sucked.
Because the season 1 is so much better.
Yeah, no, season 1 up. I'm looking at WebMD. This seems like, is this 2 gallons worth of blood that has come out of him? Is that
roughly.
I don't really
WebMD
estimate.
says we should probably get a medical attention once 2 gallons come out.
Oh, okay. I mean,
And
I guess we're
Wi-Fi's
close.
weird here, but
All right, we can do that.
Okay, but
That's
seriously,
fine.
but anyway,
Season one was
season 1, right?
way
Season 1 was the best.
Totally.
it was
Yeah.
the setting. It was the Louisiana
Yeah.
creepy
The performances,
Southern
that one
Gothic
really
thing
long
going
shot.
on.
Remember the
That's
one
the right
long
word
shot?
for
They're
it.
in the fight when they're going in between.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
all one shot. Wasn't that incredible?
All right, let's take a
Amazing.
quick break.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. This is Fort Fritz.
Music. My head. Oh, it hurts so much. But music.
To sit atop the world and see a dream brings fits to clumsy idiots.
Yes.
To sit atop the world and see a dream brings.
Yes.
Fritz!
I see a million women marching upon the earth. Oh,
Fritz.
they look friendly.
What the hell is going on?
Friendly,
You
a million
fucking
friendly women? That's not
idiot.
right.
He lost a lot of blood.
Hi,
He,
Mommy.
I mean,
I'm sorry. Angela, get away from me. Don't touch me.
Ugh.
Where am I?
no one wants to touch you.
Ow, my head. Is that my blood?
Yeah.
Is that my blood?
Where else
What
would it
am
be?
I should lay down.
No, oh wait, aren't you supposed to not let them go to sleep when they have a concussion, or are you supposed to put them to sleep when they have a concussion? I can't
With him,
remember.
I don't know. Honestly.
Check WebMD again. Pull it
I
up
don't
again.
like
Pull
this.
it up.
It's
He's
Wi-Fi
like this all the
sound, of course.
time anyway.
Yeah, I know.
don't
It's hard to tell.
It's
It really is.
hard
He's
to
sort of
tell.
in a state
Hold
of
me up, hold me
recovering
up,
from some
hold
type
me
of
up.
injury.
Hold me up.
Is he just being dramatic? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I can't.
both.
There's blood for sure.
I can't feel my legs.
When have you ever felt your legs?
can't
You don't
feel
really
my
talk about
legs.
feeling your legs all the time. Like, hey, have everybody seen me feeling my legs? Well, maybe that's
Well,
a
you're
good
moving
thing.
them around. So
Yeah,
you're fine.
so they're
You're
fine.
You're moving. His body's moving.
Just your brain.
Oh,
That's probably, I think all the blood came from your brain, so
So
you're fine.
if you can move your legs, that means you can feel them?
yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
that's how that works.
I can't feel my legs.
Wait, they're not moving anymore.
Oh,
No, that sucks.
well, now they're not moving.
Yeah, okay. What was all that you were talking about? Why are you guys? I mean, you
I
seem
don't-
to have a thing back and forth. Like, I don't know if it's a call and response sort of thing, but what's
Look,
going on?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know, man. I was sitting
Obviously.
on top of the world. That's a fucking big globe, though, right? Can we say?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Big globe.
huge,
Pretty
man.
gigantic
Awesome.
globe. It's covered with a lot of your blood right now.
I
but
feel
that's a beautiful
awful.
globe.
Anyway, I was up there. There's a fucking, I don't know, man, a fissure, something was triggering me. It's probably marijuana, actually. to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
well, there's a lot of that.
Either
usually.
that or white oleander.
The movie?
I don't know.
Do you have access to
Wasn't, like,
methane
Michelle
that
Pfeiffer
you're not
in that?
creating?
I saw an army of women marching towards the globe.
Like towards the globe or on the globe?
Towards
Because
the
if they're
globe.
walking towards the globe, they'd be in space. They're talking space women.
You can march in space.
I saw an army of
true.
women marching towards the globe.
How many?
An army.
How many in the army?
Millions.
Millions.
Yes,
guess,
millions.
So,
I know.
did you see that? Were you dreaming?
They look friendly.
Were you dreaming?
You saw
Or-
a million friendly women.
a lot of. That's
Not
I've
even
never
one
seen a million
right,
friendly
exactly.
women.
Like
Whoa,
no,
what's-
you can't even
what's-
see 20
what do you
friendly
guys
No,
women.
that's a lot of. I mean, you've never met a million friendly women, okay?
Answer me this: how many people climbed up to the top of the globe? Thank you.
I did.
Oh, yeah, she was there first, right?
I was
I'm
there.
not that limber.
No, not at all. I wouldn't
Right.
even. I'm not that stupid.
It doesn't seem like worth it.
Yeah, there's no reason. I'm fine down here.
I understand what the globe is.
Why? Why were you up there? What's going on?
I'm just telling you, man. I just decided to go up there. I'm so scared. I'd cry a lot now.
Well, that's normal for you. You're not. That's not changing anything about your character type. But I mean, why are you speaking? Angela's over there. She's speaking words. She's throwing darts.
Am
You're
I not
speaking
allowed
words.
to speak words?
You can throw darts.
But okay, so are you dreaming? Are you going in a trance? Or are you just bleeding out? I need to know that because it's kind of important.
I can't remember.
And that's actually normal as well.
Yep.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not really scared or anything. I'm just really curious because this has been a very curious day. Have you heard of Edgar Cayce?
No. Who is that?
Well, check it out because we could do a freaking series on this guy.
How is the last name spelled?
Cayce?
Casey. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is actually easier to pronounce. It's usually Babschlin Olstarken.
Thank God.
But and just this guy, he still has a research center that is very active. A lot of people are very into this guy's teachings and ideas. This is just a brief flash of looking at his life. This is just an overview. So I don't know where I could touch on. So this is just a brief flash looking at this dude's existence.
So to reiterate, this is Mandaddy's half-assed disclaimer.
Piece of shit.
Part of his story.
So to reiterate, I could do this, but it'd be a Ken Burns documentary podcast. Oh, shoot me in the fucking head. So, we've all heard tales of psychics and prophets and faith healers, but Edgar Cayce is a whole breed apart. Born in Kentucky in 1877, Edgar appeared to have abilities early on. As a child, he claimed to play with fairies.
What?
I know, little floating creatures.
In Kentucky.
Yeah, in Kentucky fairies. They're really good. They're a great band. It's like bluegrass, but like dark. Now, he said he was able to see his dead grandfather, and he always claimed to be able to see people's auras from a very young age. Now, when he was 10, Edgar was reading the Bible in the woods when a woman with wings appeared before him and said his prayers were answered and asked him what he wanted most of all. He said he wanted to help others, but especially sick children. The woman smiled and disappeared. The next day, Edgar was having great difficulty studying for a spelling test. His father was exasperated at his difficulty and knocked him out of his chair. Edgar then heard the voice of the woman tell him that if he just got some sleep, they would be able to help him. He begged his father for some rest and put his head on the book and fell asleep. When his father returned and woke him up, Edgar knew all the answers for the spelling test. In fact, he could repeat anything in the book.
There's no way.
Eventually, he began absorbing all of his school books and books in general in this manner.
Just sleep on books?
He would sleep on a book and then be able to explain anything that was in the book. Medical journals, books about science, books about economics. Yeah, he would just sleep on books and absorb all of them.
Is that the osmosis physics posters? Like,
Yes.
you can't learn by osmosis. It's like someone like duct taping physics books around their head.
And he's like, hold my beer.
I don't even have to be awake.
Now, the first example of him having psychic abilities happened, other than, of course, absorbing books, happened in 1901 when he lost his voice for over a year.
So he was 24 at this point?
Sure. Now, he had lost his voice for over a year and no treatment worked until he tried hypnosis. On his first session, when he went under, he was able to talk with his normal voice. However, it disappeared when he awoke. Then another hypnotist, and this is from Wikipedia, so you know it's true, but then another hypnotist named Dr. Quackenboss.
No.
Yeah.
That is so close to Quackenbush.
No.
No. I'm with
true.
Angela. No, that's not true.
It's completely true.
There's no way that's
Dr.
true.
Quackenboss.
Like BOSS?
Quackenboss. Quackenboss.
Can we agree that's the best
Quackenboss.
last name ever?
Yes.
That's the best surname?
I mean, at best, it's Quackenboss. It's Quackenboss, but at best, it's Quackenboss.
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 That's amazing.
Now, Quackenboss suggested that while hypnotized, Edgar should try to diagnose himself. At this point, Cayce went under and began to refer to himself as we. He announced that the cause of their vocal loss was due to psychological paralysis and could be fixed with increased blood flow to the voice box. Then, witnesses say his face, throat, and chest became bright red as they were flushed with blood. When he awoke from the trance, his voice was back to normal. For the most part, stayed that way. He'd have occasional bouts throughout the years, but then he'd be able to heal himself in the exact same way. Eventually, he began to give readings and diagnoses to other people in the town. While under, Edgar would indicate that he had made connection with the entity in question, the patient, called the entity, but he'd always state that we have the body. So I'd be sitting next to him, he'd go into his trance, he'd say, contact with the entity, and then it'd be, we have contact with the body.
How would he go like into this trance?
He would loosen his shoes and his tie, and he would lay back and deep breathe and go into the trance. And it was self-hypnosis.
Does it say if his palms were up? Because like sometimes it's like, palms were up or down.
He untied his shoes and loosened his tie and laid down.
I didn't find any pictures or diagrams of the process.
Of the palms.
But palms up, shoes off, dick out. I don't know, okay? He got comfy.
I'm about to go into this trance. What do I do with my palms? Are they down? Are they up? Are they at my side?
Like if one up, one down, just to play the odds.
Just put them in your pocket.
The instructor just turns on all of the lights and goes, leave.
Get out of here.
Get out.
Now, during these readings, Cayce would diagnose ailments and provide treatments far beyond his personal knowledge. And it got to the point where he didn't need to even meet with people he was diagnosing. All he needed was a full name and a location. And he would go into really, okay, you need 5 ounces of this, 6 ounces of this, rub this poultice on, this area, jog 2 days a week. I mean, just all this stuff that involved all holistic medicine.
Right.
He was like he was like the father of holistic medicine, not just trying to treat with drugs, but to try to treat the actual issue.
Was this still 1901?
1901 it was he lost his voice. And so this would be like around 1910, because he did this his entire life.
Interesting.
His entire life he was giving readings. He gave thousands and thousands of readings. Now, as he progressed as a psychic, He went far past just diagnosing ailments, but to decoding the universe itself.
What?
He can be said to be the father of, like I said, the holistic movement and the New Age movement. Now, unlike doctors of the time, Cayce would promote healthy living through diet, exercise, and not just medicine. Then he started to predict world events.
Is that what holistic is? It's the physical. And
you treat
mental
everything. You're treating everything around. It's not just what's your problem. It's like, okay, where did the problem come from? You're looking at the whole picture.
Cool.
Now, like any prophet, there's always a lot of interpretation involved. That's what we've been talking about. Like advice to a man to exercise caution with his finances due to, quote, adverse forces that will come in 1929. And,
that's a little,
kind of happened. Some things happened there with the stock market around that time. In 1927, he predicted that, quote, the day yet arrive when one may take a drop of blood and diagnose the condition of any physical body. People didn't really know that blood could be used at that level at that point.
Yeah, it's like he's like, you know what? Oil is in cars. Let's check the oil of the human body.
Yeah, that seems easy. Just where's the dipstick going to go? In 1935, he warned of an entire world at war. But one of his most disturbing predictions seems to be taking place right now. And it's the shifting of the magnetic poles. Something that's not good. They asked him, the question was, what great change, or the beginning of what great change, if any, is to take place in the Earth in 2000 to 2001 AD? The answer, when there is a shifting of the poles, or a new cycle begins.
That's a pretty common thing, right? Like every 10 days, the poles shift.
Not every 10 days.
What?
It's thousands of years. It happens.
How many, but like 1,000 years.
He's like,
No, thousands. Like 50, 75,000
Jesus Christ,
years.
are you kidding me?
Yeah.
All right, I was just joking. Now I'll edit that out.
Yeah, 75,000 years or so.
Jesus Christ, I didn't know that. So that's coming up, is what he said.
Scientists are saying that it may be happening. There's things going on inside the core of the Earth, and they're seeing fluctuations of the poles in certain areas.
Is that why there's the volcano in Hawaii? Is everything just going crazy?
Oh my God, Angela, don't say this, please.
Now, if it does, if the poles do actually flip, which is a possibility because it's happened before, it is no bueno. We will no longer be shielded from the vast majority of cosmic radiation because having the poles, basically, when the radiation comes, it shifts it to the poles, which are very low population. If this happens, the cosmic radiation just basically bathes the Earth.
Oh, and my God.
Most electronic devices will cease to work. Power grids will fail. Maybe not a whole apocalyptical event, but maybe the beginning of it.
No, I don't want to hear the rest of the story. This is sad.
Yeah, and so they say it might be happening right now.
I don't get my Instagram feed.
No, not anymore. Not anymore at this point. But now,
Angela, can you kill me again?
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, how was he able to divine all this information? Edgar claimed that when he was under, he was able to connect with the knowledge within the subject's subconscious. He said that we collect and remember every moment of our lives, and we're able to connect with those memories when he's in the trance. He's able to connect with the memories of the patient, Now, beyond that, he claimed he was also able to access the Akashic record. The Akashic record. This, he said, contained the entire breadth of human existence. Every sound, every thought, every vibration since the beginning of time. And it was inside this giant hard drive in the sky that he was able to access. And that's why he was able to diagnose and predict all these events that he was able to attach to basically the cloud. He was able to attach to the cloud. Now, Edgar passed away in 1944 after giving thousands of readings on just as many topics. In 1933, he founded the Association for Research and Enlightenment to continue his teaching. Over 14,000 of his readings are available online for members only,
of course,
to access and look over. So as believers and skeptics continue to debate the validity of Edgar's predictions and teachings, we can all hope and agree that there is a world beyond the material. And maybe, just maybe, Edgar Cayce was able to touch this world and bring a little bit of its knowledge to our sphere.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so many, especially all of these arrows just darting every kind of map up here, and Angela, I think you were talking about some of the arrows, right? Oh, my head.
Your head.
Oh, my head hurts.
Which doesn't look
good. At least
good.
clean the blood off the globe. And
yeah, can you get to clean up your own blood? That's just rude.
Bleeding?
That's just rude.
Yes.
Tell me, honestly, am I still bleeding from my head?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still coming out, but there's blood all over
It's
you.
it's not spurting, but it's like.
it's right back here.
Oh yeah!
Yeah,
Oh
that's-
god! Yeah,
that's-
you shouldn't pat it.
That's
very
me.
Every time you
matted.
pat it, it squirts a little bit. It's kind of.
Ew.
That looks like
awesome.
me.
I mean,
Weird.
head injuries bleed a lot.
They happen.
It's very normal.
Yeah.
Oh, there
Oh,
he goes.
he's down again. He's up.
Oh.
He's up. He's a resilient little bastard. Look at him go. And he's like one of those little birds that go into the cup of water, then come back up, and then go back in the cup of water. I can watch this all day.
We shouldn't flail about like that. It's not good.
Have to, Mom.
Are you guys seeing the what's with the tiny little hole in the globe here? What is this shit?
What?
It's like no, it's like a pinprick in the side of the hole, like blood kind of colluded around it. And I looked inside. It's just like a weird hole.
It's like a dart hole with no
it's
dart.
like over the right there, seemingly just weirdly in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, Angela was saying there's darts, there's holes, and the different maps, and I gotta lay back down. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. I gotta lay back down, guys.
I just don't see what the big deal is.
Yeah,
There's
it's
just
just
a bunch of holes in the
It's
globe.
kind of
It's
weird though. It does look like out of place or like.
Edgar Cayce, didn't he do that? He predicted the whole Bimini Road Atlantis thing.
Yeah, that
It was like
you'd
30
eventually
Ah,
find
no,
Atlantis
I
and
don't
Bimini
think so.
Road, and
Hey,
that's
look,
where there's
hey,
a
guys.
crystal that
like
can.
30 years before.
Yeah,
Guys,
there's a giant-
it's,
there's a- yeah,
it's
that
nothing. It's nothing.
What do you-
Just
What
ignore
is that?
it.
No,
I think we
it's-
should
it
get
looks
Fritz to the
like a
hospital.
really-
She's
It's there for
never
a
so
reason.
pushy.
Listen,
What's-
I think we need to take Fritz to the hospital. Let's just wrap this up.
You've never
What's the
cared
20
about
so
Fritz like that.
concerned
This
about
doesn't
his
seem
health?
normal.
He's bleeding a lot.
Now you
I don't want to go to jail
Is that
again.
Eddie, he's singing
Oh,
Eddie
like-
Money. I hate Eddie Money. Let's get out of here.
At least he's not singing Billy Ocean's Caribbean Queen, Caribbean
that's-
Queen,
okay,
Caribbean.
yeah, not Eddie Money.
I'm gonna put him in the car. Kaz, can you wrap this up for us, please?
Get on to my globe.
Sure. So we're gonna leave the bloodied fucking map room, but you were listening to Fort Fritz.
Are we gonna
and
do anything about him?
We're
gonna.
taking him to the hospital.
We got his
No,
head wrapped in
that's
kind of
so
like
lame.
a pillow.
This is nothing.
How can you wrap a pillow around a
fine.
head? That's gonna be a really
Two
long
pillows,
pillow. Okay,
tape.
Okay, so like a big pillow.
Why do I
helmet.
have to explain something like that?
I just want to
you?
know how this
Pillow
is being done.
around a head.
Okay,
Figure it
pillow
out.
around the head. Okay, duct
You were
tape.
listening to Fort Fritz. You can check us out on iTunes, Spreaker, Spotify, YouTube. You know, regular radio waves. Just kind of like if you get the crystal, that's the whole thing with the
crystal.
radio.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The
You can do
little
the crystal, like a
quartz,
little quartz radio.
and
that
then
you
like
get.
a needle taps it. And
You
the
can do it with a
radio
potato,
comes.
right? You make a potato battery.
Potato and then
Potato.
crystals,
Yeah,
and then
potato
like
crystals.
prayer.
You can reach us through
And
prayer.
then you can get Fort Fritz. So you were listening to Fort Fritz. Thank you very much. We're going to take Fritz to the hospital, and we will see you next week.
All right, wrap him up and get the fuck out. Let's go.
Jesus, she's so pushy all of a sudden. What the fuck?
You're listening to Fort Fritz. Bitch, don't try to shush me out. You just got
What
here.
does that say about your old dusty ass that we're no closer to the objective and you've been here for what?
Ladies,
7
ladies.
years now?
We can hash it out later in the basement like we do every night. For now, we've got a job. Get those fucking darts off the wall. Every sleeper across the globe was compromised due to Miss Show-Off's exhibition
maybe not
today.
just
We've got a lot of
across the
fucking
globe.
work to
Check
do.
this out.
Every fucking dart. Every
Which one saw it?
fucking
The
darts.
big bearded one.
The big bald bearded one? Oh, the big bald bearded one who screams.
Requesting a Tier 1 eraser
yeah.
team for
Just
infosec
do
retrieval
Christ,
and
we're gonna
support.
have to
Tier 1?
Get Mother Base on the comms and tell them Angelantis has been compromised.
Did you say Angelantis?
It's just the goofy podcast dude.
Did I
Is
fucking
that how
stutter,
you
number
say
19?
it?
Shut the fuck up! I've been watching you. You know what the fuck you are doing. Get the fuck out! Don't give me attitude. I got 10,000 times more attitude than you. Oh yeah? How many push-ups can you do? Can you do all of the Ashtanga poses all together? I don't think so. I don't think so. Your arms are small.